Rudnick.
So good afternoon. My project was on Lean Six Sigma. I boiled down the title to try to be a little bit adherent to PowerPoint etiquette here, so I didn't want too much on here, but I'm going to step over here a little bit. Basically, today what I'd like to do is go through and help you to understand Lean Six Sigma and Lean Six Sigma, what those concepts are, to identify the higher education competitive forces in a Lean Six Sigma proposal that are driving this process and why it's important, to understand how this works in an applied context in a real-world project, to consider applications and recommended areas for future study as it relates to our Thomas More University. And I'm going to use the DMAIC framework for outlining and presenting this. Define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. So my proposal was to do the following. A Lean Six Sigma program for TMC will be researched in the feasibility proposed. And so my objectives were to research peer-reviewed and select relevant non-peer-reviewed literature, to propose a Lean Six Sigma process and select opportunities for Thomas More, and to identify system and process waste elimination, which is Lean, and work standardization, which is the Six Sigma or statistics component for here at Thomas More College. So my academic pursuits brought me through this. 6 primary sources. I traveled to Florida to interview an individual who has incorporated this into his MBA program, and then 2 face-to-face locally here. And these are my 3 semi-structured questions that I used for my interviews. Is Lean Six Sigma still relevant in higher education? There have been a number of different process improvement opportunities that have come about, and we wanted to see if it was still relevant. What are some of the benefits, and can you share some concomitant challenges associated with implementation? And then should we consider piloting this at our university in the academic year 2018-2019? This is just the profile of what I reviewed. So we looked at metrics, and the measure component of the DMAIC model looks at both metrics and methodologies. So we wanted to look at projects that possibly had a positive return on investment, how they might contribute to that qualitative return on investment that Kathleen alluded to earlier, that all of our wins from a budget standpoint don't all need to be financial, but they need to be linked to our mission and vision, and how these link to the strategic plan that we have for 2020. Basically, kind of getting to the conclusion that the benefits seem to outweigh the risks associated with implementation. So the potential benefits, really distilling this down, would be improved customer satisfaction. And one of the largest points of contention among the literature reviewed was who are the students, who are the customers? Is it students? Is it teachers, faculty members, parents, etc.? But again, one of the forces driving this is that students have a choice, and we are in a competitive environment. How could this contribute to our financial sustainability, and is it a calculated risk expense-wise to implement something like this? Would this improve our image as prudent stewards of the resources entrusted to us, and is there an opportunity to incentivize faculty members and students to become involved in this? Risk of not changing and ignoring a recommendation, would it be we would just perpetuate a downward spiral of possibly complaining with no solution to back it up, and we would be not supporting the need for financial viability that we have as one of our first goals here for the upcoming academic year. What Lean Six Sigma is and what it's not. It is market focused. It fosters the improved construction metrics. It basically, we write down systems and processes and measure them. It's a response to changing dynamics, and we talked about the demographic shifts in higher education. And it's based on continuous improvement and respect for people. Ironically, 2 major forces in the area are Miami University and Bowling Green State University in Ohio. And they've had tremendous success with this since 2008. What Lean is not, it is not a reduction in force or means of layoff, and it does not mean less employees are needed here. Again, my strong recommendation is, and I've already had an opportunity to present this to Rob Munson's direct reports, to consider establishing a lean program. TMU Lean is a potential opportunity to capitalize on how about 25 other higher education organizations have done it in the United States. Less is more, meaning we eliminate non-value-added tasks associated with this process. And this is the structure of the steering committee. Yellow belt, the system for advancement within the Lean Six Sigma program is based on the martial arts. So it's white, green, yellow, black. And basically, we have an opportunity to train individuals with some software at no additional cost based on a certificate program that we're doing this summer. So we were able to leverage some of that. So the first, what we had basically agreed to do in the graduate steering committee was to map out the process for academic affairs approval of new programs. So we thought if we had a graphic presentation of that, we might be able to streamline that process a little bit. And then the literature suggests that we look at the administration and finance areas of higher education to select a pilot project to work on this. So it would be basically Rob Munson's area, and they're looking at this. So we would hopefully be able to do this within 3 or 4 months and present this at the next faculty development piece. I worked with Dr. Saraswat to come up with a composite function algebraic equation here. All the math people have job security, trust me, this was just a little bit of a stretch for me. But basically, the outcome is driven by the process. That is basically what the literature suggests. As I did my research over the summer, I realized that it's a little bit more than that. We can't take what works at Miami University and bring it over here. Same with Bowling Green, the same, University of Wisconsin. The culture of the way things are done around here is very, very different. So my assertion is that the outcome is a function of the culture and the process. Again, control, it's important that we have controls for this, and were this to be accepted and implemented, this is a possible process for maintaining that accountability. Standing reports at the board, Dr. Zembroek and I had a conversation about this, and he's very interested in the Six Sigma components of it. We could look at a dashboard for the board staff and faculty member viewing, accountability for the metrics that would be identified by each of the new colleges, and then the university steering committee could even be a subcommittee of the board. So it's important that leadership is there, and our secret weapon is this: Joan of Arc and Dr. Jack. That's my presentation. Thank you.